a short story. The cat with the crooked tail. Firstly, two quotes. Helter skelter, hang sorrow, care will kill a cat, up tails and all, and a pox in the hangman. Ben Jonson. Then from Shakespeare, in response, in Much Ado About Nothing, he wrote, "What courage, man! What though care kill the cat? Thou hast mettle enough in thee to kill care." Means nothing to you, but The cat with the crooked tail. Very few people were there when the boy was born. There was only the mother, who later recalled very little of the actual birth. It was the pain, they said, the pain and the anesthesia. And the mother's mother, who said nothing. No one mentioned the boy's father. The boy's first memory was of the inside of a cot, a vista of majestic white pillars that soared up and up before disappearing into a mystery. His chubby fingers were big and clumsy and could not grip the bars properly. Curious, he would beat his useless fists against the woodwork and wonder where they led. He wondered what they were for, what lay beyond them. By the time he was a year old, the boy had learned to walk. The mother knew nothing about it. She was at work when it happened, you see. The grandmother thought nothing of it either, didn't say a word, which was more or less what she always did. Every morning the mother would creep quietly into the room and kiss him goodbye. Every evening she would creep quietly in, Every morning the mother would creep quietly into the room and kiss him goodbye. Every evening she would creep quietly into the room and kiss him goodnight. Each time it happened, those brief, awkward moments, the boy wondered who this strange woman was, who touched her lips to his cheek, and he wondered why she did so. Outside in the living room, the grandmother would stare at the small screen of her old Panasonic TV set and watch a Chinese variety show. She never kissed anybody, and nobody kissed her, which suited her just fine. She only ever got up to change the bottle, diaper, or channel, as the case may be. By the time the boy was a year and a half, the small 3-room flat had become the world. He would climb out of his cot in the morning after the mother had left and look for something new. Each bed and chair and musty piece of furniture was a fascinating discovery. Each tile on the floor was another country to be conquered. The crusty wallpaper was a treasure trove of cracks and dents. He could easily spend half a day exploring the corner of a room. The grandmother paid him no mind. Edmundson was on TV, and he was far more interesting. In the evening, when the first hints of dusk began to seep steadily into the house, the boy would climb back into his cot and dream. He found the cat at the age of 6. Or perhaps the cat found him. Either way, it was about midday when they first met. The boy had been down in the void deck, alone, exploring, as always, stalking ants, poking sticks into drains, rubbing at soccer ball marks left on the walls. He was sitting on the hard floor, blowing at a leaf when the cat rounded a corner and came into view. It was a beautiful, lustrous creature with black ink for fur and emeralds for eyes. There was something magical about the way it moved silently. It flowed gracefully up to the boy, sat down on his haunches. The boy looked at the cat and the cat looked at the boy. They were an odd pair. The boy noticed that the cat had a rather peculiar tail, bent crooked at the base before curving upwards at an angle like a question mark. He wondered how it had happened. Gently he reached out and stroked the cat's silky fur, and it purred with pleasure. Each day, when the boy left the house to go exploring, he would find the cat sitting in the void deck, waiting for him. He was delighted. Armed with a new friend, the boy would set out bravely, confident that the day would hold nothing but discovery and adventure. He would roam the alleyways and corridors, conquer playgrounds and stairwells, do battle with evil pigeons. And all the while, the cat would never be more than a few steps behind. With every new mystery discovered and solved, the boy would pause for a moment, turn back and stroke the cat's deep black fur. Whenever he did so, the cat's curious tail would dance with contentment. It was a strange, almost hypnotic sight. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned to months. The boy started spending more time stroking the cat than he did conquering the world. The next year, the grandmother died. She passed away during the commercials. It was a tragic affair. The mother cried once during the funeral, once when she read the will, and then went back to work. As far as the boy was concerned, only two things had changed. One, the cat, having followed him home countless times before, now sat on the couch where grandmother used to sit. Two, the incessant background noise that was television had finally ceased. Other than that, life seemed to go on as usual, except nowadays the boy stayed home to take care of the cat. Every morning after the mother had left, the boy would climb out of bed and play with the cat. There was something strangely compelling about the way it stretched and yawned and leaped about the house, something enticing about the way its tail would trace invisible question marks in the air. Together they would play catch amongst the table legs, they would overturn furniture, raid the kitchen, loop the drawers, ruin the curtains. Mother would chastise him when she came back, but there was never any strength behind her reprimands. They played on. Slowly the boy stopped wondering about why things were the way they were, or what discoveries he might find beyond the grilled door of the apartment. It was unimportant. The small three-room flat had once again become the world. In the evening he would climb back into bed, tired but satisfied, and the cat would curl up at his feet, crooked tail swishing, green eyes gleaming in the dark. When the boy turned 11, he had grown too big to keep up with the cat. The cat, however, seemed unchanged. Its black velvet fur still begged to be touched, and its bizarre tail would do pirouettes whenever the boy stroked its back or tickled its ears. When they played catch, it was as fast as ever. Nowadays, the boy left for school in the morning, returned in the afternoons. He spent every other waking moment with the cat. He would sit at the table, feeding the cat, or lie on the bed, stroking the cat, or stand unmoving, watching the cat. The cat, of course, loved the attention. Purring, it would flow from cupboard to sink to tabletop, and the boy would watch, mesmerized. At 17, the boy stopped going to school. The mother could not understand it. It's his attitude, they said. He simply doesn't want to listen. He simply doesn't want to learn. Worried, the mother tried to talk to him, to ask him why he wasn't interested in his studies, why he didn't seem to care about anything anymore. The boy shrugged. He just wasn't interested. That was all. No reason, really. The black cat jumped down from the couch and rubbed lovingly against his legs, black tail curling about his ankles. The mother went back to work and worked all the harder. On his 21st birthday, the boy turned into a man. The mother had died the year before and left him the apartment along with a generous sum of money. It was a tragic affair. He hadn't cried at all. He celebrated the birthday alone with the cat, which still seemed unchanged. Over the years, it had never occurred to him to wonder why the cat never grew old. He had long since ceased to wonder about such things. He had long since ceased to wonder about anything, really. All he knew was that when the cat purred or when the cat swished its curious tail, he was content. He could spend hours watching it frolic about the apartment. Today, the man simply sits there on the couch and does nothing. He watches the little black cat preening itself in the soft morning light, fur deeper than the darkest night, eyes luminous and bewitching, tail bent and crooked, still shaped like a question mark, dancing seductively in the air.